All right. So today we have.
Bobby Break.
What place did you get, sir?
I got top 8. I lost top 8.
Okay. What was you playing, and how did you feel about your matchups?
Well, I played Rabbit, and at first I came in not very confident because the deck I thought can draw terrible or just draw really good, but I felt that it was pretty stable because against like Plant, I got a good contender to like get Dolka out, so I felt pretty good about it. Yeah, about all my matches.
All right. Let's go ahead and see what.
All right, so we got the stupid normal monsters that are awful to draw. 3 of each. Then you got the 3 rabbits. And you got a Grand Mole. A lot of people don't main this card, but it's just amazing. If you have like Lagia or Dolka, and you just mole attacking their defense monster and just keep attacking, and I won like 4 rounds with just this one card. It's an amazing card, and it also gets past Spirit Reaper and other defense monsters that will like stall you out. And Sangan, Tour Guides, obviously. I played 3 Drag Gwibba. Because this card is just good. I also use 3 Lance, and it's a great combo with that. You just attack and instantly exceed into any of your dragons you want to get. So then the magic cards, Dark Hall, Monster Reborn, Book of Moon. I main deck 2 Smashing Ground because this deck has a big problem if your opponent brings out a monster with over 2,500 attack. There's like no way to get around it. So I main deck 2 Smashing Ground to get around that, and also like people who main deck Spirit Reaper and stuff because it has this big problem against that. It's like a wall. And I was playing my brother, and every time he got an Ancient Fairy Dragon in defense mode, and I just lost. I had no out to Ancient Fairy Dragon in defense mode. That's why I decided to main deck 2 of these. So those were really good. So also kills Thunder King, which is a problem sometimes. 2 Typhoon, 3 Lance. Once again, this is amazing. If you have like Lagia out and they Dark Hole, instead of having to waste your Lagia, you can Lance it. And if you have another back row to protect it, it saves your monster, and it's just one of my favorite cards to use. And also good in combo with Gwibba. I actually main deck 3D Fissure because I figured most decks I'm going to be playing is like Dark World and Plants, and starting off game 1 main deck D Fissure would just completely shut them down, and it worked maybe like 3 times, but most of I think 4 games they Pot of Avarice while I D Fissure out because I drew it late game, and that was not fun. So I may not main deck these. It didn't help that much, so I might have to change something with that. My traps, I use 1 Starlight Road, just because I like setting all the background and them being completely safe. Torrential, Solemn Judgment, Trap Dust Shoot, Near Force, 2 Warning, 2 Bottomless, and 2 D Prison. So it's pretty standard, just defense stuff.
All right.
So that's the deck.
Any particular other comments you liked about it? Did you really like 3 Guabi?
He was alright. It was great when I had him with Lance, but if I had him by himself and they had like a Tengu, it was awful. Like he wasn't a great card to have, but it was a pretty good card. Like I wouldn't use the deck without this. It's needed.
Do you feel that you would have liked Thunder Kings in the main deck somehow?
No. Thunder King in the main deck, it didn't do anything. Like worst case, I can summon this and have protection and just summon another monster and exceed. Like I didn't draw a rabbit like half the time, and when you don't draw a rabbit, it's hard. You need to draw these monsters in multiples to summon and exceed with it. Like yeah, and plus I was main decking D Fissure, so having Thunder King with that wouldn't work at all. So yeah. Alright, so side deck. Alright. Side 2 Shadow Mirror for Dark World, it just shuts them down. I side another Charlotte Road, because a lot of people side in Bottomless when I rabbit, so it stops that, and they also maybe side Malevolent Catastrophe. Side 2 Phoenix Chain, because it's good against agents or the mirror match. It's amazing in the mirror match. That's how I won both my mirror matches with Phoenix Chain. They get Lagia or Dolka and they activate the effect, and I just chain Phoenix Chain and they lose. 1 Debunk for Plants, and I guess Dark World. Side a 3rd Smashing Ground, because once again it's so important to have them not have a big monster on the field, and a lot of people side in Spirit Reaper and stuff like that. I said I got 3rd Typhoon. Just normally when I going second, I set up my Trap Dust Shoot and put a Typhoon in because they'll set like a Solemn Warning or something. I use that to give it a Solemn Warning. 2 Leeching Light for agents. I may not side 2 anymore because a lot of people realize the card's out and they play around it. That's how I lost it. One of my losses in Swiss was the agents because he just played around it and I had it dead in my hand. Mind Control, I use this in the mirror match. If they have like a dinosaur, I can just take it and summon and use theirs. It's pretty good. I also had 2 Spirit Reaper for the mirror match because it struggles against that. And then 2 Cyber Dragon, just pretty much against like anti-meta and Car Curry, and so that's pretty cool. And the extra deck, let's see. I use a Brionac, Stardust, Trishula, and Catastor. Honestly, there's no way for me to synchro with my deck. I use Stardust for Starlight Road, and I just use these just in case I have Monster Reborn. If I have I can Rabbit for 2 Saber Swords, Monster Reborn like a Global or Effect Veil and Trishula them, or only have 1 Monster Reborn and synchro for Catastor. And I just use Browning, I don't know why, but synchro is, I've never synchroed with this deck, but it is just for backup.
We need more Exceeds, right?
But yeah, then we have a lot of Exceeds, then Chimera Tech, I also have Chimera Tech. So we got 2 Dolka. The card's amazing, it's a lot better than Lagia. This wins games. Just you bring it out with a 3 back row and you just win. And then 2 Lagia is good when I always bring it out when my opponent has like 2 or 3 cards, and I win. It just shuts them down completely because they can't do anything. Wind of Zenmains. This card's amazing. Everyone needs it in their extra deck. They use Tour Guide, it's hands down. 1 Leviathan. Just
he's there.
Yeah. Utopia. I may use another one. Because if they have like a Librarian out, I can't Exceed for like a Lagia and attack into it. So I may take Roach out. I've never used Roach ever. I've never needed it, especially with Tour Guide out now. Roach, I think Roach is a terrible monster. And people may like say I'm stupid, but I've never used this card in my life. I decided 2 Leviar. I use 2 because you need it. If you have 1 Rabbit and you draw 2 Tour Guides, you're able to go Rabbit off twice. So yeah. And that's pretty much the deck.
Any final comments?
Rabbit isn't as bad as people think. It actually works, and it wins as long as you don't draw all monsters, which you shouldn't in probability sense. So.
You know how probability works in Yu-Gi-Oh!
I guess so, yeah.
I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.